It's Perp back with another video, and just got done watching the season 1 finale of Chucky. And I gotta say, man, I'm pretty mixed with this finale, but overall I really enjoyed what I got from this series so far, and I'm curious to see where it goes next, because I could see them kind of doing a lot of different things as far as each season goes. Maybe they're doing an anthology and we can get some new characters and stuff like that. But we're going to get into all that. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at PerpMinded420. So we pick up where the last episode left off, with Andy showing up to Junior's house, but Jake's not there. And this was really weird to me, just how Junior was all just nonchalant about just letting Andy come in and just search randomly in his house and stuff. And obviously Andy knows he's hiding something, and Chucky has been here and he's hiding in the toilet. Funny enough, it was pretty goofy, but Chucky has bigger plans for Andy. Meanwhile, back with Jake and Lexi, they're pretty much trying to figure out what's going on. How is Chucky doing all this? And they pretty much come to the conclusion like it's voodoo. They kind of put two and two together, which is just really weird. And they figure out that with Chucky being able to get one of the kids to kill somebody, it pretty much activated this this spell where he could pretty much make an army of Chuckies. And they pretty much make that known throughout this whole entire episode. And this is where the other Chucky kind of comes to life, the Tommy one, whatever. I think that was its name or whatever. But before I can get to Lexi and Jake, this is where Kyle pops in out of nowhere, really, and kills this Chucky. And that's my issue. There's a lot of little weird plot holes that they just kind of brush over, because I understand she got left behind. I don't know how far she was, but how she found this house randomly is kind of weird. And she pretty much tells the kids, this is what is going on, this is why we're trying to stop Chucky. But at the same time, why do you have to drug kids? Kyle ends up drugging them because she doesn't want anything bad to happen to these kids. And it was just, I think that was a little over the top. She could have just told them to stay here and don't go anywhere, but obviously they probably would have listened. So this was the best case scenario. She even says, I feel bad about doing this, but it was a little extra to me. Now back over to Nika and Tiff, because this is really interesting. Also has a lot of issues for me, because I don't really like this version of Tiff. I prefer the doll version of Tiff, which we will get into very shortly. They kind of have this kind of back and forth where you have this version of Chucky about to kill Tiffany, but then this Chucky doll walks in with Junior saying, no, we got bigger plans. And this is where we kind of get the introduction to all the different Chuckies. And what's interesting to me about this is that with all these different Chuckies, none of them are the same. They all kind of have their own kind of personality. And pretty much this was Chucky's plan all along, to just have this army of Chuckies that he can pretty much be at his disposal, and they can all do pretty much the same thing that he can do, as far as transferring his soul into other bodies. But where it becomes a little difficult is where Nika starts to kind of snap back into it. This leaves Tiff to have an ultimatum: either kill Nika or I'll kill you type shit. And it was meant to be very suspenseful, but I think it was just a little too messy. Everything just happened way too fast. And I think that's the problem with this episode, because they gassed it up saying it was going to be like a 90-minute premiere or something like that. I guess that was for commercials, but it's really like an hour, and they really could have done some more with just the pacing. They could have left some things out. They could have done things a lot differently. I think that it just kind of ruins a lot of the moments and stuff. So they have this whole scene where Tiff kind of has this revelation of like, you know what, I'm done dealing with Chucky's shit. I'm going to turn on him and kind of just do my own thing, because she just is obsessed with Nika, and what she does with Nika is really fucked up, and we'll also get into that. So now, before Tiff leaves, she leaves a little surprise for whoever comes through the front door, pretty much for Andy. Also, we find out that Tiff is the one that pretty much called the cops back when Chucky got killed in that toy store. Tiff's a rat. I can't respect that, man. She dimed him out, and you know, she's always kind of had this vendetta against Chucky, and I don't know where they're gonna take her character, to be honest. But Kyle, this is where we kind of see her death. Maybe she isn't dead, and they maybe are gonna pull off some bullshit like she kind of like got out of the way, but I doubt it. They made it look like Kyle pretty much died because she opened up the door and the explosion went off and the whole house went off. And of course, you know, this is interesting because Andy was able to get in there before anything could happen to Devin. Devin was able to make it out before the explosion happened, which leads Lexi and Jake to wake up to think that Devin died in that explosion, and Jake's kind of just messed up about it. But then Devin shows up very quickly. Like, this is my issue. Like, things just don't have time to like marinate. It would have been dope to kind of have that kind of stretched out and make you really think that Devin is dead or he died in that explosion. But you know, they're able to kind of reunite and kind of get back to what they need to do. And then we quickly just jump to this premiere that Lexi's mom is doing for the whole community and stuff, and just the press, and just to make herself look good, to boost her ego. And Lexi's all dressed up like it's just like so much time. It's just not even really explained. Things just happen and we're just moving on. So everybody's sitting there at the premiere enjoying Frankenstein, and it's so kind of meta, and you know, it shows where pretty much they got the inspiration for Chucky, and they're kind of having this whole Frankenstein moment because Lexi kind of gets trapped by Junior and Chucky, and she's kind of pinned. And you know, this was pretty interesting too, where with Chucky, the one Chucky that was with Caroline, was pretty much stabbing people in the ass and stuff like that, and it was complete chaos. And while that's all going on, you have Lexi trying to talk some sense into Junior, which this is where things start to really fall flat for me, and a lot of things just completely just are a mess at this point. Junior made such a quick turn, you know. Lexi was able to kind of talk some sense into Junior, and it just happened so quickly. It's the same thing with like Jake. Like, I really thought that they were going to go the direction that they took Junior with Jake, and kind of stretched it out throughout the whole season, and have like Devin be the one to kind of snap Jake out of it, or you know, that would have been more compelling. But this show clearly doesn't take itself serious. It shows, and you gotta kind of just take it for what it is. Like, that's why I can still kind of enjoy it. I don't like really take it too serious at all. But going back to Jake, you know, he's able to get one up on Chucky and squeeze the living daylights out of him. You know, it was really weird scene. Just a lot of forced shit in here, forced dialogue, and just a lot of the dialogue didn't hit. But they really wasted Junior's character by killing him off, even though he was able to kind of kill one of the other Chuckies and whatnot, trying to kind of redeem himself, which, like I said, it was just poorly executed. these scenes really didn't really hit for me. It was still cool to see like Jake squeeze Chucky's neck so hard to the point where his head just like kind of his eyes just popped out of his head type shit. That was really crazy. So kind of get through the aftermath of just everything that's going on, the chaos throughout the whole entire cinema and stuff. And Chucky makes it known that he just wants to be remembered for just killing people, his body count, and that's all he wants. He's very narcissistic, man. It is what it is. It's a very basic motivation. So we get this whole scene of Tiffany pretty much telling this dude like that's driving this van that has all the Chucky dolls, the good guy dolls, to like be safe and whatnot. Don't ruin nothing or else I'll kill you. Pretty much threatening them. But then Andy kind of gets to jump, which I don't understand how Tiff didn't see this or nothing like that. And you know, Andy's able to get away with all the Chucky dolls. But then the Tiffany doll shows up, says it's complicated, so we're probably going to get some explanations about that. That's going to be pretty interesting to see, because this is the Tiffany that I like to see, is the doll version. So that's pretty much going to be something for season 2. I don't know what they're going to do with all these Chucky dolls, because that's going to be pretty interesting to see. Now, going over to Nika, because this was really fucked up, because Tiff is no better than Chucky at this point, because she talks about, oh, I'm tired of all this, the abuse, the negligence, all this, blah, 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 blah. And then you go and do this to Nika. She literally amputates her arms and her legs, and it's just like, wow, it's just like, that's fucked up. I feel really bad for Nika. Then we get to kind of Jake, Devin, and Lexi going to pay their respects to just Logan Jr. and Bree. And that's pretty crazy that pretty much Jake's whole family is dead. And I still think that Jake's teacher here is Glenda, or it's some type of relationship with Glenda or something like that. I feel like she's going to be a bigger character, or a part of the main cast, or the part of the main group, you know, going into season 2. Who is this person's hand with the glove? Is that Tyler? That would be really dope if that was Tyler. Or is that Andy? Nah, it wouldn't be Andy. Or is it Glenda or Glenn? Who knows? It's a lot of fascinating stuff. I like how this also ends and kind of like a Tales from the Crypt, with, you know, Chucky just kind of, you know, recapping the whole entire season and what could possibly what's going on next. Not really saying much, but, you know, that was pretty interesting. So that leads me to believe that this would be really cool if they just made each season kind of like an anthology. We get introduced to new characters, but also still following up on what Andy's doing and stuff like that. We could get different locations and kind of bring back, you know, Devin and Jake and Lexi in the future, something like that. But I don't know. It makes me think that, you know, that's going to be the main cast moving forward. Overall, I feel like this finale was a little bit mediocre, and it kind of fell flat. Still had some interesting things to make me want to see what's going to happen in season 2, and maybe it'll be an improvement. Maybe they will listen to some feedback and just be like, all right, we're going to kind of really tone down the wackiness and just kind of do something more serious, but also kind of take our time with just certain character changes. Because, like I said, the whole Jake flipping really, you know, didn't really pan out the way it should have. It was really quick. The Junior turn was just so sudden. It's just like, I understand they're trying to like say, oh, they're kids, and, you know, they could obviously kind of change their mind at a dime, but it's just like, man, there were so many interesting things they could have really done with that. It is what it is. Let me know how you guys feel about this finale and just this season overall. What was your favorite kill? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hopefully YouTube does not disable them. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.